Hi, my name's Charles and you're listening to ShopFreeMart's audio broadcast. If you're new to our YouTube channel, please click the red subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner. You'll also see a small bell icon. If you click that, that will notify you when we make an update or post a new recording. If you wish to go to our ShopFreeMart website, go to our About page. There's a direct link. So without further ado, let's go to today's presenter.
So again, my name is Dick Matwishin. I'm in Florida. I'm a Crown Ambassador and founding member of FreeMart. I've been a health enthusiast since I was in my teens, working on bodybuilding and things like that. Throughout my life, I got more and more interested in all of the other health aspects. In particular, when my mother became ill with some health issues, I ended up focusing more on what was causing those issues and how we could prevent those from being a problem as opposed to treating them with a pharmaceutical medication. So that's basically where that got me involved with this at a higher level and learning about what the body really needs and versus what it's getting with that. So a couple of things we're going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about dehydration. I'm going to talk about the benefit of the hydration drops. I'm going to talk a little bit about the nano cards and also a little bit about some of the benefits of decal boron and pure magnesium, using those particularly topically, which has been an interesting aha for us. So and within that, we're also going to intersperse how I do my business, how I've made it to Crown Ambassador doing my business the way that I do it. So one of the big problems out there is dehydration. It's a key cause of hospitalization, disease, premature aging, and death. Now, I bet if you're like me, those aren't any of the things that are on your bucket list that you want. Those are things you want to avoid, right? So why is it so important to get water into the cell? Well, water carries nutrition into the cell. If water doesn't get inside, neither do vitamins and minerals. And when I'm talking about vitamins and minerals here, I don't mean just from supplements. I mean from the food that you eat, too. That is the transporting mechanism to get everything into the cell. Water bathes the interior of the cell, removing byproducts of cell metabolism and other toxic waste. A dehydrated brain becomes forgetful, which often becomes more apparent with age. So you'll see this even years ago, 20 years ago, when I was going to conferences. People who were running the conferences knew that people were getting dehydrated in the audience. And when they got dehydrated, they'd feel sleepy, they wouldn't pick up on material, and they were actually passing bottles of water out to us to drink to help keep us more alert, okay, and keep our brain more active. So when you end up feeling down a little bit, maybe in some energy or a little foggy, go for some pure, clean, fresh, filtered, or if you have it, distilled water, and see what that does to your brain as opposed to going in for sugar and caffeine. As cells shrink from dehydration, they shrivel up like a raisin, and that is what causes wrinkling of the skin and shrinking of the bones and muscle tissue with age. Good health, youthful appearance, and good memory all depend on hydration. So a primary benefit of hydration drops is its ability to promote an exceptional level of intercellular hydration. And it comes at a great price. You know, 1 2-ounce bottle of hydration drops actually treats 198 gallons of water. You know, you're always going to want to either use distilled water or filtered water with that, or spring water. If you don't have any of that, you can get spring water. A lot of us have used Crystal Geyser over the last couple of years here with a lot of good benefits. So we want to, because of all of these benefits, what do we want to do? Well, we want to share hydration drops, and we want to share the love with those. There is a landing page that you have if you're already a member of ShopFreeMart, and that's FLP12. You can find that in your back office. I'm going to give you an assignment if you haven't done it yet. Go into your back office, you go under Tools, you look at landing pages, and you look at the one FLP12 that's for hydration drops. Go to that page. You have that, so you can send that out. You'll see how you have your own personal link for that there. But I want to have you listen to the audio by our friend Johan. This could be a life-changing and even a life-saving event and audio to save with people you know, love, and care about, as well as people you're going to meet. And guess what? A lot of those people that you don't know yet, you're going to end up knowing, loving, and caring about them too. You know, if you end up having kind of a purpose-driven life, my focus, I decided back in the 90s, was to have a positive impact on people's lives. And that's got to be in the area they need, not something that I think they need. So part of that becomes figuring out what their needs are. So 90% of the people I've sponsored have purchased. What do you think might cause such a large percentage of those people to try a product? Well, my demographics are pretty different. And in that, people who I meet are generally looking for something to help them with a health issue or prevention, to help to avoid having any health issues. So what transpires is that they are either reading flyers that I have available, or they come up to me and ask me about something I may have mentioned when I was talking that they think might help them with an issue. So here's the key point. I created interest in products either with a story or with information. In some cases, they have followed through, and I've suggested that they can go to www.200diseases.com. So that's the number 200, so that's 200diseases.com, and look up any health issues they have an interest in that are of interest to them. I gave them something for free. The online book, Causes of Over 200 Diseases, or it might come up as Healthy Tips by Doc. Great book. It's free for them to access. It's over 800 pages of information, and that helps them get to basically look up an issue they're concerned about, see what the real cause is, and see natural treatments causing particular, in that case, disease or other issue with that. Dr. Wheaton, is actually put that together and keeping that updated, which is a huge task with that. And he also talks about that every Friday on our noon hour conference call. So in some cases, I also use other people's stories. And in other cases, I use and share my stories, my personal experiences. When I share my own stories, the people that I share them with know that I actually have used or am using the products. I believe that gives them more confidence to know that I actually believe in and trust in the products and the benefits that I'm looking for when I use them. Over the years, I've noticed that many people will actually act surprised when I tell them I use a product. And that's probably because they've encountered so many people who are talking about a product, but they've never personally used it themselves. So I like to have my own personal experience with everything, so I can talk about what I have as well as other stories, but because they know it's important enough for me to get and order that as I need it to use for continuing my daily health. In my personal experience, I've found that many more people will try a product if I tell them why I am using a product and the benefits I receive, which is why I generally say at the end of the calls that I host that after signing up to become a member in ShopFreeMart, you should review the product and pick one or two that you might be interested in trying. That gives you an opportunity to take action. Use one of the flyers that are available, share a flyer, make up your own flyer, whatever it takes to make it easy for you to share some of the products. Flyers are available by sending an email request to documents@shopfreemart.com. So that's an email. That is not a website. That's an email. And again, you send it to documents, documents, @shopfreemart.com. Peggy maintains that for us and is doing a wonderful job with that. Then you can use, when you have a flyer, okay, you can use that as an excuse to text, email, or call some other people that you've personally sponsored and let them know I have something for you to try. and hopefully they will do the same. Now, you can also do that with someone who you haven't sponsored yet. So you can basically help to create interest in the products and the business by sharing flyers and information. So what would happen if you could also share a product testimonial with them? Either someone else's, or better yet, one that you have because you tried one of the products and noticed a difference. Now, we've had that work out for us real well all the time. We had a friend who was picking up another product, and Joy and I happened to mention an experience we had with nano cards. And within the few minutes we were talking with him, he kind of looked and smiled. Well, he says, well, you know, I got to have one of those nano cards. So those are the types of things that can happen with that. You can also tell people that you learned about the benefits of a product and decided you were going to use it because it is just so good for people. Now, Siaga is one of those. There's a whole list, whole page of information of what the ingredients of Siaga can do to help people. And that's one of those products that even if you don't have those issues, it's so good, you should add it to your routine. So this is a real easy one. Again, hydration drops. I mean, everyone gets thirsty, right? However, according to many sources, most people are actually dehydrated by the time they feel thirsty. And being dehydrated can lead to a person fainting or even being delirious. Those situations can put you in the ER. And what if the doctor in the ER plays it safe and decides that you may have a neurological problem because you passed out? This actually happened to someone before we met them. They had been on a cruise, and on the cruise, instead of drinking the water that she normally drank, she drank the tea, the diet sodas, the wine, everything that actually is dehydrating instead of hydrating. When she got home, she passed out, went to the hospital. The hospital said she was dehydrated and hydrated her. However, they also played it safe. And understand, medical institutions have to play it safe these days. And they said they did not have any evidence that said that she did not have a neurological problem because she fainted and passed out. So therefore, she got her driver's license suspended. Now, in the state of Florida, you don't need to have a driver's license to drive a golf cart. However, if it's been revoked or suspended, you can't even drive a golf cart. So in this case, her husband had to drive her every place she needed to go, and they actually needed to go to a neurologist and have him run tests and visit with her in the office and ask her questions, and over the period of 6 months before he would take the risk and sign off and say that she did not have a neurological problem. She had only been dehydrating. I'd also met other people who, you know, this one guy had taken his wife to the hospital 3 times because she was dehydrated. The 3rd time, she was delirious. Now, it's one thing if you're with someone you know when you all of a sudden become delirious, but what if you're out on your own when that happens? What if you don't know the way home? What if you don't know where you left your car? You know, a lot of people don't want to ask other people for help, but, you know, there's situations like that yeah, who are you going to trust to ask for help in those cases? Are you even aware of what's happening to you at that point? The key to action in this that I'm talking about here is prevention. So stay hydrated. So, you know, according to some key motivational speakers out there, people will do more to avoid pain than to get pleasure. Losing your driver's license because you were dehydrated would be, in my mind, a huge pain. No, I'm not able to tell you that if you use hydration drops in your water that you will avoid being dehydrated and avoid losing your license or going to the hospital. I mean, you still have to drink enough treated water, right? However, I can tell you that among other things, the hydration drops may lower the surface tension and allow the molecules of water to enter the cell better than normal drinking water. And that, again, is how you get nutrients from any supplements or any food that you're eating. So how much water you should be drinking as an individual, well, that's a little controversial in the daily amount. However, if your urine is yellow, dark yellow, or orange, or has a strong odor that hasn't been caused by any medications or you've been taking or food that you've been eating, then you are probably dehydrated and you're playing with the health of your kidneys and the rest of your body. And guess what? That's serious. 1 bottle of hydration drops, again, treats 198 gallons of water. And if you're only drinking a half gallon of water a day, that is going to last you 396 days at the cost of 12.5 cents per day. I hope you feel that you are worth that much at least. I know I am. If an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, just imagine how much 2 ounces of hydration drops could be worth to your overall health for the next year plus, and to the potential of preventing illness related to dehydration. From a business perspective, if you're not getting people on these daily calls, then call them, text them, or email them with the call number and why they should listen to today's call, or whichever call got you excited to join ShopFreeMart or got you excited to take action and try a product. If you don't have the money to try a product, then start eliminating an expense until you save up enough money to try a product, or share the ShopFreeMart products and opportunity until you've earned enough to try a product. Now, isn't that a great way to do that? So one of the other things that I found out here basically is if you have someone's interest when you're talking with them, you can get some information to them. So say you're out someplace and you don't have anything with you, you can pull out your phone, okay? If it's not already out, most people already have their phones out, and you can get their number and you can send them a text that will link to their website, or you can say, hey, give me your phone here a minute, and you can put your information and link to their website, give it right to them, and you also want to make sure you give them your phone number so they can get a hold of you too with that. When you're doing this, and I did this recently. I do this a lot actually with that, but I'm going to tell you about the story where I did it recently back in December. If they go to your website, the link, give them the link to your website, and you can do that through the virtual business card, which is a great system to use, or you can have it available someplace where you can just copy it and paste it into a text or an email to them while you're standing there. It's great to have if you have that as a whole little document with your website and your phone name and your phone number all at once. You can transfer that right in there. But if you get them to go to the website so they can go back again easily to yours, guess what? They can go to shop. They can select any products that they're interested in. When they go to purchase those, the system will actually ask for their information. You know what other system is really effective at doing that? Amazon.com. So our system is actually set up to function just like that. If someone's gone to a site, they found the product they want, that'll go in and they'll basically sign up as they're ordering the product with that as a free member. Free member, okay? So that's a key thing. So I was in the pool down at the Marriott, and there was actually a function going on down there where there were a lot of characters, people dressed up as characters, and a lot of photographers who were there also. They were taking photo shots around the pool there, a lot of beautiful areas to do that there, so that these people could have a collection of photos as a memory, but and also to promote themselves and whatever character that they were doing. So I'd actually go up to the photographer, and you can see one of these posted on ShopFreeMart Friends, okay, and also the Facebook page for ShopFreeMart, that I was in the pool and I was talking to one of the photographers who also gave me his card while we were there, because he really had a big interest in what I was talking about. So 3-foot rule, you can be in a pool talking to someone on the outside too. Well, my daughter took a picture because I was totally oblivious to this blue little monster character who looked like he was going to try to come over to eat me, right? So you can do this anywhere. You know, it's absolutely wonderful with that, to have fun with that. So do this enough and just think of what your story will be like next month. And better yet, you can ask them, in that case, so if you've had a card and you can give them yours, but when you have the virtual business card, you have all of your links in there that you want someone to go and to look at, how to get their own virtual business card, how to become a free member, how to look at information from the landing page on Vitalize, on Activate will be coming, is there actually now, on nano cards, whatever you have. Now, you can customize something for someone if you want to do that, but you can also have your generic one about the ShopFreeMart business, and you're on the cutting edge of technology when you have that to go ahead and expand their minds and their beliefs about what the possibilities are, and you can do that in an instant. So the nano cards, okay, some of the benefits are it helps increase proper and healthy blood circulation. It helps reduce stress and fatigue and increase energy. It helps release and eliminate harmful bacteria and toxins. It helps enhance the water molecules in the water you drink. It helps eliminate all offensive odors in the car, refrigerator, or body. It helps maintain freshness and increase shelf life of fresh food. It can help reduce back discomfort, migraine, headaches, and the discomfort of arthritis. And it can help facilitate a healthful environment for plants, and it also helps to provide and reduce some of the EMF radiation that we have with that. My wife Joy is on the call right now, and Joy, would you like to share some of your experience that you've had with the car? You may be on mute, so remember to come off of mute.
I'm here.
Go ahead, Joy.
Okay. Thank you very much, Richard, for the opportunity to share. I'd like to start by briefly going over the health issues that I had before I found out about FreeMart, even though I had improved them a lot. At age 20, I found out I had bladder infection with blood in the urine, and over a period of 4 years of taking prescription drugs, it grew worse and worse to the point they thought they might have to do dialysis, and who knows where that would have led. So I read a book that said you need to change your lifestyle. So I changed my lifestyle radically, and I got away from eating food grown in chemicals, from using cleaning products that had chemicals, and then, of course, the list goes on. The key thing the book told me was get away from a chemical lifestyle. So I was doing good. However, I still had health challenges from time to time. When I found out about FreeMart, when Richard introduced me to FreeMart, I was so excited about the products that they have brought to the table and continue to bring to the table. So I just want to cover a couple of the products. I use them all, like Richard. I use every product, and they all have their benefits, and I really wouldn't be without them. They are almost more important to me than eating. So anyway, I want to talk first about the hydration drops. I thought I was hydrated until I tried what we called happy water at that time. Now we call it hydration drops. The energy levels, my improved urination, feelings of well-being. I felt that I had healthier looking skin, and I still do, better memory. And the list really goes on. A lot of times we think we are hydrated, but we really aren't. There was someone, I heard her story somewhere along the line that she was drinking almost, or maybe it was a gallon of water a day, and still being told by the doctors that she was dehydrated. Well, that didn't make sense until I learned what our hydration drops actually do. They allow the water to go directly into the cell, where water that you drink without that just kind of swirl around the cell. So once I started using that, boy, amazing how much better I felt. And then the other concern that I had was I would have cramps in my legs and in my feet, not only during the night, but a lot of times during the day. So it wasn't until I tried the FreeMart Pure Magnesium that I was able to eliminate that. And then the decal boron came out, and I added that, and it was even better. I had a pinched nerve from an injury from years ago in my neck, and I had spent tons of money at the chiropractor trying to get that back the way it should be, and that never happened. Using the magnesium and the decal boron has made a huge difference. It does, I used to push my finger up there where the pinched nerve is, and it would shoot pain. And I don't experience that anymore. And then last, but of course not least, nano cards. I love nano cards. Okay, I don't get headaches very often, but one day I had this nagging headache across my forehead, so I took the nano card and I clipped it with a chip clip, like you put on your potato chips, on my bangs, and I mean within minutes, not even 2 minutes, the pain in my head was gone. So I really hadn't been too serious about the nano cards, the use of nano cards, until that happened. Richard had been talking about put them in your shoes, put them in your pockets, get that circulation going better. So now I get up in the morning and I have nano cards in my pockets. I put nano cards in my shoes. I actually, from Richard's suggestion, I took, it's a plastic case with a cord that you can hang around your neck that is used in meetings as a name tag. So I took my name out and I put my nano card in there. So now I have that hanging around my neck every day. That's close to your heart, so that's going to help with circulation of the heart. And guess what else? It's a conversation piece. I've had people ask me about it and think how awesome, how great. And other members have actually said, I'm going to do that as well. So I could go on about other products, but I want to stick to the ones that Richard is targeting today. So thank you very much, Richard, for giving me the opportunity, and I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, Joy, so much for that. Great testimonial. I'm going to continue with a couple in there. I have so many fun testimonials with the nano cards. I had also had a headache, which I rarely get with that. Got to understand, I used to have some neck pain back in the 90s. And I was taking 6 to 8 aspirin per day for that pain. Interesting, I did find some much better things to take, and I haven't had any aspirin since like the early 90s with changes in diet in that particular case. I actually found that I didn't have a digestive issue with milk. I actually ended up getting headaches from it with that. So it's interesting, if you can find the root cause, you can actually eliminate the problem as opposed to just masking the situation with that. So most recently, Joy and I were at Sweet Tomatoes with a number of people, and actually we were there early. Actually, we were there by ourselves, an unusual event. and this couple sat down next to us, and then they moved to another table. They wanted to get out of the sun and stuff, and so, but we started a conversation with them a little bit, and as a result of that, they came to one of the meetings I was doing. Title of that was, "What the Heck Should I Eat?" And they really enjoyed the material. The husband had read most of the books that I had up that I was displaying and stuff, and he mentioned he had a problem with his knee. And so I mentioned the benefits of the nano cards, and they signed up, and I actually had a set for them to take with them right there. And they left, and then I just go and I just reorder that for my name with that. It just happens to work for me because, again, of my demographics, that people want immediate, to start something immediately, not wait even days to start on something. The funny thing is they came to Sweet and Tomatoes the next Monday, and they told us the story that as they walked out, the wife said to the husband, "Well, that was a waste of $55. What did you do that for?" And he said, "I just felt like doing it." And his wife said he's the type that basically will compare all of the prices on all the sizes of everything in the store to save 26 cents because that's his nature. I'm that way too, okay? But he actually bought something without checking it out with that. And so that night he told us next week that he placed one of the nano cards, taped it to his knee, and he slept through the night because he had no discomfort, from an injury he's had for years. So I said, so you're telling me basically when you went into this, you had no belief in what the cards were doing. They said, zero, right to the ground, no belief, no expectations. In fact, if it could be negative, we had it negative. So no placebo effect with this at all, just total positive results. And, of course, they laughed with that as they told me the story with that. And what I tell you about this is that we can have confidence with our products because they've been so carefully selected and developed that they work with the vast majority of people, whether it be the minerals, the hydration drops, the nano cards. All of our products are just absolutely great and unique products to share with people with that. When I had a headache one time before, we did the same thing, except I don't have bangs in the front of my hair. So Joy just taped the card to my forehead. I was around the house, and that relieved the issue that I had going on at the top. So one of the other things I want to talk about a few minutes is some of the results that we've had using decal boron and pure magnesium topically. When I went down to Disney back in December, I got there on a Friday afternoon. My daughter and son-in-law had gotten there earlier in the day, and my daughter was having a lot of difficulty walking from the lobby to the lobby where she met me and back to the room, which was probably only a couple hundred feet. And she said, "Dad, what am I going to do? My heel hurts. They gave me an insert to help with the discomfort in the heel, and my calf locked up and became cramped, and I have problems with my knee." And so I gave her husband my pure magnesium, my pure mag, and my decal boron, and I said, put some drops of each of those on her heel, on her calf, and on her knee. After that, she put her sneaks on, and as we were walking out the door, she said, "Dad, I can feel the difference already." So we walked out the door, and we spent the next 8 hours at the Magic Kingdom walking around. We walked 6 miles that night, which included getting in and out of all of the rides and everything else. The next day, we did another 6 miles around Disney. So, and of course, she used it when she got home and before we left and everything else. Topical use of our products, they're nanoparticles. They absorb right through the skin. I've used it on issues. Joy's used it on issues. Joy, if you're still there you want to unmute yourself and tell them about your shoulder when I was doing the call the one day?
Okay, yeah, I forgot. I was going to tell that I was having some pain in my shoulder. I thought it was from sleeping wrong, but it continued night after night. So I decided to put magnesium and boron on topically. So I put a couple squirts in my hand of each and rubbed it all over my shoulder. And I mean, it wasn't even a minute or two, and it relieved the pain to the point I could lift my arm in the air. So this is the funny part. Richard was over on his computer on the phone, and I wanted him to know the relief I got. So I went running through the living room, swinging my arm that I couldn't lift over my head around in a circle like I was going to pitch a baseball and let it go. So that was the kind of results I had with that. And it's amazing. I mean, you can tell these stories to people, and they may look at you and think, oh, yeah, sure, but the thing is, I couldn't make that up. That's a real story. So that we have found to be true about all the products, that they each have something that we can tell somebody else about when we use the product. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Joy. I was doing the call at the time, and here this wide-eyed person is swinging her arm around while I'm talking on the phone, and I'm thinking, okay, what happened to my wife? But, the beautiful thing about this is we have multiple technologies. I've done the same thing with a guy at a meeting who I had him hold a nano card on around his shoulder, and while I was picking up at the end of the day, and he said to his wife, it feels better, and then he went like he was overhand pitching a ball. Now you got to know that's what I'm mimicking right now. Okay, pitching a ball, and he said there's no discomfort there. I can do that. So there's you got the nano card, you got the drops, lots of different options with things like that, and the stories just go on. You can basically we've done the same thing with knees and back. A lot of fun things with things like that. We've got that opportunity to have a positive impact on some of these very discomforting things that have happened to people over the years, and know that we can actually make a big difference with that.